Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to teamfortress.tv, where tonight myself, Getawhale, I'm being joined by Marxist on the mic and Dashner on the production things. And we're bringing you ESEA invite action. It is the Madmen versus Ding Dong Daddy. And it's ESEA invite. We've got some TF2 tonight, Marxist, and my gut Marxist is telling me, my heart of hearts tells me we're going to have a good match. What do you think?
Well, it's possible. They Ding Dong had, like I said the last time I cast a Ding Dong game, Ding Dong gave a really good run at Froyo, and they had a couple moments in the other game of theirs that we cast last week. And then they kind of fell apart. So we'll see. Maybe they'll be able to, finally get over that hump and give us like a all the way complete really good game.
Hopefully, we'll see. I mean, certainly these are teams that some people say are even, and some people, maybe if you're a fan of the Madmen, say they're better, and if you're a fan of Ding Dong, you like them better. But these are two teams that are definitely in the talk still. It's early in the season, and people are throwing around that maybe we may see one of these teams at LAN. It's possible. The Madmen are 2-1. Ding Dong Daddy are 2-2. We're playing on Metalworks, everyone's favorite map, right, Marxist? Tell us how much you love Metalworks.
I mean, Metalworks, it's not hated, because there have been worse maps than Metalworks that were played for a long time. It's just not quite right yet. I don't think it's ever going to be fixed, so we just kind of have to live with it.
This is the call to map makers. If you want to make a map to replace Metalworks in the rotation, go ahead and do it. At any rate, but yeah, do we want to talk about the rosters a little bit? Because everyone's in here, and I'm sure they're going soon. Do you want to start it off? Tell us about Ding Dong Daddy, the singular version, sir.
Well, on the Ding Dong Daddies, you've got Alec and Schnell, aka Confident Carl. You'll see that there if you're watching in some other format. And they're a solid scout pairing. You got Sneaky Polar Bear on Roamer, Showstopper, the current TF2 meme, on Pocket, 404 on Medic, and a demo man whose name is escaping me, Kosa, who is Schnell's bestest TF2 friend in the whole world, and who I played many seasons with at one point.
Yeah, there you go. You have history. And on the side of Madman, we were just talking about, there are a few names that jump out to me. Marxist and I, we were just talking about Harblu, who was the biggest addition to this Madmen squad, of course, after the fold of Classic Mix-Up. And Harblu, we called him the doer of this Madmen team. A lot of people see him doing some big stuff, and he's anxious, that little Harblu. We talked as well about Demo Seymour, and we talked about You Must Mike sort of doing a lot of cleanup. Great DM there. We have, of course, Blank as well, who Blank I've cast with in the past, and he's kind of he's a dual threat. He's a player, and he's knowledgeable like you, Marxist. And who did I miss? We're rounding it out. We've got Indus, of course, on Medic. We've got Pharaoh as well. That's the Madmen, and that's the players that play. So we didn't talk about predictions yet, or well, we did kind of off camera, Marxist. But you're kind of feeling like Madmen take this one, correct?
Yeah, unless Ding Dong comes out here and they've really got themselves together, I think Madmen probably are going to come away with this one. But it's Metalworks, so you never really know, because teams tend not to scrim Metalworks a whole lot.
Right.
So sometimes you can just get randomly surprised on this one.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, Marxist, pretty much all 5CP maps are very much the same in many ways, certainly the ones we play here in ESEA. So if you had to be specific to Metalworks, what do you think you need to see Ding Dong Daddy do on this map tonight in order to give these Madmen a run for their money? What do they need to sort of excel in, or what should they be trying to do, in your view?
Well, so this map is kind of a cruel mistress, because, and it comes into play for Madmen too. This map can either really benefit roamers who are very active, so that would be Sneaky and Harblu, both. Or, for whatever reason, you'll see real active type roamers just fall apart completely on this map. So we'll see which team that happens to, if either, because there's a lot of stuff you can do in the skyboxes absurdly high in places, so you can do a lot of jumps on maps that you on this map that you normally couldn't do.
Yep.
But sometimes it just doesn't turn out. So you have an off day, or the metalworks just happens to get you.
Owned by the metalworks. Yeah, certainly on these mids, I'm expecting a lot of big double jumps up off the window, off the walls, till the sweat drops down metalworks. Marxist, I don't know how I got off on that. But yeah, double jumps and stuff. We'll certainly be watching Harblue and
Sneaky.
the other guy. Yeah, Sneaky. Which brought me to my next point, actually. We want to talk about off-classing a little bit, because Metalworks is a pretty big off-classing map. There are a lot of opportunities for sniper and for spy and even heavy pretty often we see. Not so much pyro, but Harblue and Sneaky, these are two guys I think of when I think of off-classing, and more we're seeing soldiers off-class, Marxist. The last cast you and I had, we watched Sneaky Polar Bear go sniper, and he had a hilarious quote, which was that he was a god on sniper that day. But we're going to probably see a whole lot more of that kind of off-classing. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah,
go live?
We might also see some crits come out too, because for the last couple seasons, teams have been pretty apt to go crits on this map.
Absolutely, and we're about to go live here. We've got our bearings, we've got everything together. We're going to have, there it is, the green text. We're live on Metalworks. Welcome, guys, to teamfortress.tv. If you are just tuning in, it is me, Getawhale, and him, Marxist, and Dashner doing the behind-the-scene kind of stuff. I'm looking at Harblue. I like to watch the soldiers on this middle on Metalworks, as you and I talked about, Marxist. A big double jump, I'm feeling it. He's got sticks. He gets through the sticks, does Harblue, and he's up on the roof way behind, and I don't know if I can get behind that. Back at the point, we've got Pharaoh just kind of blocked out. Real aggressive daddy team, and Soldier coming right in and gets a pick on You Must Mike. Real great mid looks like for daddies. Looking to close it out, though, and get that clean up that seems like they'll have it. Pharaoh, though, sticking in there. Pharaoh sticking in down low. I don't know. It's now just 4-4 and Kosa, and what looked like a great mid for daddies. They've got to back out now. They've got no choice. Good work for Indus getting the heals out there, Marxist.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Sometimes being on the ground on this map isn't the death zone like it is on other maps, because you can kind of cover yourself with the different little bits of map down there. This is a fight going down on the right side, but I think they're going to let that one go. So, equal Uber situation. They might tease each other out for a little bit, and then they'll sort them. No. They want to go. Simu is down, and the Ubers are forced out of Indust. And now the reply comes from 404, and they jump around a lot.
There is a lot of jumping. Sneaky's in behind and regroups with his team. He was up trying to shoot some faces, and we kind of reset here now. We're not quite seeing the reset where I expected to see it. I expected we'd be back around second, but here we are in bridge right now. It's pretty even on Ubers. There are no off-classers. It's just straight fights. We've got the spam battle going on. Advantage here in terms of position-wise. Oh, well, no, a soldier got through. I was going to say that Ding Dong Daddy had a position advantage, but they let a soldier in. It was Harblue, but he gets taken out. I don't know if they want to act on that. They've got, a little bit of flank action. Alec going around the side. They're thinking of coming underneath Marxist. What do you think of the underneath push here at this area?
It's the only way to go. That's one of the problems of Metalworks, is if you try to push into lobby off of 2, it's just never going to happen. Unless the other team is horribly distracted or has several members dead. So you pretty much, as a combo player, you pretty much got no choice but to push under, and they can respond.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Kosa using the loose cannon, worth noting, which is perfect. There's nowhere in the world you'd rather use it than right here to sort of just blow shit up in this little tight kind of choke area. Blank is moving up. He's got You Must Mike with him a little bit. We've got some flank. I don't know if the push might be coming around. Blank is in a little double jump, but thinks better of it and gets back. But Madman thinking a little bit of maybe trying to get sneak a bit of room on the left. I don't know what Indus is thinking. Indus is coming back inside, so that's where the push is going to come from. He's got scouts flanking him. He's got a lot of help. Blank
yeah,
is
they were
in,
just
trying to
to
create
see
space.
what was there.
Yeah, just creating space right now. Blank is sort of doing most of the work, and your combo, you want to be able to get out of this small little hallway. You want to be able to get better positioning, and that's what you have. A lot of these small little hallways here at the second point. Nothing really going down now. Blank going to jump in again, just checking out positioning. Gets a couple rockets down, just trying to push blue back is what Red is doing.
Yeah, they're snaking around a little. They don't want to give up the bomb right away because blue and the Ding Dong Daddies are close enough they could just drop under and push mid. So they don't want to run a sack play because Ding Dong's kind of stacked up. I like that they got the scout on top of the little thing too, the little metal thing. That's a nice little touch. And
metal works.
Yeah, and there's Blank doing a little bit more teasing, some peeking around under. They don't know what they're wanting to do here.
We have a spy play, by the way.
There it is.
He switched back off of spy. Yeah. Harblue was on spy, and he's back on soldier now. He's coming right back. I don't know what was going on there. I happened to sneak it on my scoreboard. We've seen Harb sack in a couple of times. I guess he's thinking better of it now, going back to soldier. I mean, Harb is the kind of guy who wants to go. We've got some action underneath now. I'm watching Harb on the left. I want to see if he's thinking of going right in, and he does. He's right in on the combo, goes for the med. Harblue in, but gets the force, but gets taken out. So he got his force. Now what are Madmen going to do to follow up? And Daddy are going to try to come out here. I don't know about this.
Well, it's not the hardest to force them some of the time, depending on where they stand, but they're just going to let it go because it's too risky. Now, I presume we're going to push through the flank here. But maybe they won't, and that's all the better for Ding Dong Daddy.
No, I mean, certainly holding on to full Uber, though, we got to note is Indust in a huge advantage, 60 or so %. 4-4 knows that, and he's way back now, and playing right by the shutter, and he's going to get the hell out of there as in comes the Uber, and they're just going to very easily, real aggressive. In comes Harb, and there's going to be no soft push back. They're just going to have to head all the way back to last. Look at Madmen just right in. Harb is in all the way. We've got Blank in as well. They're just flushing them in. They still going to get that camp on second, but it looks like here the aggressiveness is going to pay off. They will get the full wipe, and they're going to stand and laugh on the last point. Madmen, a very convincing push into last there, Marxist. Very convincing.
Yeah, when they killed Kosa there, he got caught out, and once you lose 2 people over a second when you don't have Uber advantage, that's pretty much a done deal unless you can pick up a frag somewhere.
You think Daddy were too slow getting out, or did they play?
Yeah, they were way too close given what the Uber was, and that they'd have to pop immediately.
Yeah, watching Harb here again, it just happened to be with my camera. He does the traditional double bomb. He's chasing after the soldier. He's in on Kosa, actually, taking it right away. Looking at Pharaoh now, who's grabbing the pack. He's behind his med, and going to try to wait this fight out a little bit. Looking for targets. Looking to find a little more... Going to take something out here. Real good focus fire, though, by Ding Dong Daddy. And a fantastic job there with the focus fire. Focus fire tends to win mid-fights, doesn't it, Marxist?
Yeah, generally, if you play TF2, it behooves you to shoot the same people as your teammates. And it worked out pretty well there for the Ding Dong Daddies. I think they'll be okay here, too. They're getting a little bit of the business from Blank and Harblue. They're actually going to try to use Uber to block, which is viable here, especially because the spawns are fairly close. So we'll see. Blue is out in a big way, and they're going to pick up 2 kills. So that's not really what you want.
It's not what you want. We're looking at it's a 5v3 situation right now. I believe there's one spawn that was just up. Kosa coming in with Showstopper and 404 right on this right side here, and the whole team actually, all of Ding Dong Daddy thinking right side. Kosa's going to come around to Shutter and get some action out and try to get something on Indus here if you can. The heavy is out. That's Simu with the heavy. Defensive heavy looks like he's going to be... Oh, we had the scout came right up in his face, but... I don't know. They're going to try to spam this heavy out still. There's only 2 players up. It's only Schnell and Sneaky up right now. Make that Sneaky only. I feel like Ding Dong Daddy stayed in there. I don't know. They kind of overcommitted to that push. They just sat there and they didn't want to back out, Marxist.
Well, they all pushed in right, but they all went after a different guy. So they made up for their solid focus fire on mid by not focusing targets at last. And now we're going to see Madmen push mid with full Uber. They're doing it the usual way. You want to go through alley on this map a lot of the time. So they're in, and it doesn't look like Indust is going to have to pop, which is... that's pretty much the best birthday present Indus could have today. So they're just going to keep driving on through.
Pharaoh's playing really aggressively. I'm looking at him. He's doing a good job getting around and being mobile, jumping and whatnot. He's pushing up. He hasn't necessarily led the charges, but he's putting out good damage. We'll have a look certainly at the half, and see what kind of damage everyone is getting. Worth mentioning, actually, I'll mention it on next mid, as a matter of fact. I'm letting Dashner down. But anyway, we're back in this situation here, and Kosa holding on to that loose cannon, which I love in this little hallway, because, I mean, it beats pills by a long shot, I would say.
Well, it kicks people around, and if they want to push out of the tiny doorway, they're pretty much never going to get out of the tiny doorways.
Yeah,
we actually lose Simu and have an Uber
Yeah, we
exchange.
got a push, and it was Blue who came right up the side. Pharaoh getting the hell out of there, and real aggressive Ding Dong Daddy. Kind of a tight little area there where it's easy to sort of pressure, and I guess now that they're at mid, they have to figure out the rest of the pushing. We saw Ding Dong Daddy play real well on mid, but we saw them sort of scatter when pushing second and last so far. So we'll see how it plays out, but they got a lot down on Madman right now. Showstopper's in there trying to do work on Harblue. Harb gets away.
Yeah, Showstopper basically just cleaned house there. And Alex gonna snatch Pharaoh's life. Harb's getting beat up somewhere around the map.
Doing.
There
Yeah,
he goes.
He was running underneath, and Seymour's back at last, was already thinking last on Engineer and wasting no time. You Must Mike is up on Sniper. He wants a pick on Sniper, and he misses a shot. He had the whole combo, but You Must Mike. He was trying. We've seen our first... Oh, we've got the level 3 down underneath the bridge. Is that pretty standard, Marxist? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's some teams like to do it. Other times you put it over on the right side. Those are basically the two places you're gonna find it. The tragedy is that Madmen, or rather Ding Dong, should have heard it by now. Yeah, so they get the 7th player immediately. Kosa dies though at the start of the push. You don't really want that. The stock way to push last is with your demo, and they're having trouble getting it capped. 404 tries to be a hero and grab it, but he gets thrown away.
That's rough. And so, again, you know, you can't blame them for anything that way. It was kind of a coin flip, but Ding Dong Daddy, again, sort of failing to take that last point. We're going to see, I mean, if that becomes a thing, certainly they had good pushes at mid. Harblue runs into a fistful of players and gets taken out. Harblue doing a lot of that jumping around. Haven't really seen him. I mean, we've seen him switch to Spy once. We haven't seen a whole lot of wacky off-classing by Harbs. I guess we'll stay tuned and see if that becomes a thing.
It's a possibility, Getawhale.
Yeah, so right now Ding Dong Daddy just sort of detecting that maybe not sure where the Uber stands on the side of Madmen. They're just kind of hanging here at mid.
Well, I think they know it's relatively even, but they, for whatever reason, they didn't want to push. On this map in particular, if you get a nice concerted push going without Uber, it can turn out pretty good. Of course, it could also be a disaster, so I guess they opted for caution.
Harb is up on Spy. Harb is up on Spy. Why don't we get the comms of Ding Dong Daddy, get in their heads, Marxist? What do you think?
That would be good.
There's just 2 sticks right here. Eat that. You know.
They have 3 people flank. 3 people flank.
So just jump shack.
Med's flank.
He's hit.
Med's flank. I'm in house right here. Can we just...
Spy demo.
Alright, let's push on. Chance this.
Looking for that nerd the whole time.
Alright, let's go flank.
There was a Spy, and they found him. Why don't we leave it at that? So, good awareness there, certainly by Ding Dong Daddy, picking that up right away, and certainly now going to have Spy probably in the back of their heads for the rest of this one. We have Ubers popped off, meanwhile Showstopper taking the bulk of this and popping one soldier around. Can't get a pick there, unfortunately. So, Harb the only one down, and oh, Blake comes down right off the tail of that Uber and gets a nice little shot there on Showstopper, taking him out. Sneaky's going to get back. And Ding Dong Daddy got to retreat here, and they got to get back quick. They don't want to lose any tailing out of this one.
Yeah, they're actually gonna... Alec is gonna get Enda, so the whole off-class to push thing just does not really turn out for them. 404 is still surviving. Oh no, you're trapped in a bad zone, but he gets out. Maybe? No, the scout is gonna pick him up. That was Simu. Simu's gonna have trouble here with fighting Kosa, but yeah, he'll just leave well enough alone. He's got his buddy Alec there.
Yeah.
So this is a dangerous spot for Mike, though, because a repush, yeah, Mike's not gonna really mess around with this.
No, he knows he's not as effective when it's just him. A bloodbath there, and I've got to call out Harblue and some of these kind of flankers on Madmen who, what I'm seeing them do so well so far is they're not letting Ding Dong Daddy back out when it's time for them to back out. They're kind of sensing when Blue is, you know, on their heels in reverse, and they're pushing up and taking them out, especially Blue. They've been doing it time and time again. I mean, I think you'll agree.
Yeah, that's one of the curses of going into the lobby area on this map. It's real easy to flank you. Alec and Kosa both gonna go down. You don't want that because that means they can just roll on through. And yeah, that's gonna be what happens. We'll watch for shenanigans, but I don't see any shenanigans.
Flanked is WMing wanting right now until he doesn't have players in his face. Look at Madman. I mean, they're right up here again, and this is almost a carbon copy of what we saw last time, where they pushed right in and wiped last. They're not going to do it this time, but really, I mean, they must know that there's an Uber that they're facing, obviously, which is smart, but they had quite an impressive push in. And real tough to force the Uber in this area, so they kind of wait, and real smart. Indus is going to back right up, and they're going to get out. And now Blue doing the job of getting in aggressively. I think everyone on Madman sort of clued in at the same time that, oh wait, we probably have an Uber coming down our throats any second, so they very intelligently retreat to middle.
Yeah, they had to bail out there. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't try and force that issue, so to speak, a little bit sooner instead of letting it push into them, because Pharaoh very nearly died, and that would have been lights out. They might come and force us at mid.
Here we go.
Uber, it gets popped off right away, and they're gonna try and press forward to get a whale, but I don't think they're gonna get anything.
I don't think this is the push forward Uber that they wanted. I mean, Blank popped right through the door of Choke, and I mean that's not a last push. So I mean, really, they just used for nothing. So that's a waste. And again, they're in the same situation. They've got an Uber coming. They have nothing they can really do about it. Blank trying to get rockets in if he can, but now Madman has got to get the hell out of there, and they don't want to lose anyone here, Marxist. As we said, a little bit of back and forth in this area, and just kind of piggybacking me. You must, Mike. It's right in the face of the Uber combo there. It finally goes down. But we're just piggybacking back and forth now because Blue is back up to 25 and slingshotting Ubers.
Yeah, well now they get mid now. If they do it quickly, they might be able to press second because Madman's gonna come up now. So you want to try and get in here and get some good position. Blue tries for a nice little bomb, but it was a little too fast. They were waiting on him, so that'll be a mid cap and probably maybe a 2 push, but they might wait for their Uber and do the safe zone thing.
Maybe Sneaky going to try to bully this team out of here, and I mean, I think the teams are they've both been burned a lot now by being over aggressive or being caught as they were trying to back out. So I think they're both giving that respect. Sneaky is in though, meanwhile, and a little late to the Uber push, but gets in and gets a few rockets. They're going to flush this team out of seconds. Sneaky coming underneath. He's got a soldier in his face. Gets Blue. That's Blue down, and only 3 up on Madman. Certainly, I don't think this is the push in at last. Sneaky knows he's got a demo in on left. I mean, there's 2 players up. Do you just come right in, Marxist?
Oh yeah, yeah. At the very worst, you force Indus Uber because he's gonna have to pop to save the point. There you go. So now you just back up and don't lose your medic. Oh! It's happening, Getawhale.
And they lost their
critical mission failure.
That was a critical mission failure. Now Kosa in trouble as well. And so again, just I don't know. We're seeing some pushes that are kind of going the wrong way for both teams, as a matter of fact. And Madmen trying to get some momentum now themselves too, if they can.
Oh, nice little kill there too. Confident Carl and Sneaky combining for 2 kills. They don't have Kosa, which puts them in a pretty bad spot. Now they're starting to get wiped out there. Ding Dong Daddy's got a little bit divided. Their med was standing back on mid. Like, I feel vulnerable right now was probably what he said in the comms. And then his team was up in the flank trying to win video games. So we got Indus now with Uber. Oh, he got donked down to 12 health. I don't know how many times I've said that.
Yeah, Mike came right in on everyone. I don't know what I think about that. I don't know if he'll maybe off class, and that's what that sack was. He didn't get anything with it.
He knew Indus got double donked. So he knew Indus had like 5 health.
Didn't catch Indus, unfortunately, but Simun now trying to get something as well, trailing this Uber, and Blue holds on, pops theirs back, and we're going to see here if anyone could take any ground in this choke area where we've seen stuff going down, but not always a lot of ground exchanged, Marxist. Just kind of a lot of bullets shot.
Yeah, I mean
Spam.
that's why people have trouble with this map, Getawhale, is when you that the whole upper lobby push thing is really difficult to do, and it's more difficult than it is on other maps.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at Harblue right now. I'm sure he's thinking of doing something. He's going to come around left and maybe a bomb in here on the combo. Here comes the double jump. He's in on the combo, looking for a drop on the mid. He gets the pick on 404. In on Showstopper now. He blows himself up, but he did get the medic. Now, what is the follow-up? Unfortunately, there's only 3 players up on red, and they're in retreat mode because they've got to heal up. So Harblue did that. I mean, you know, Indus still has Uber, but oh boy, they've got to keep getting out of there. Pharaoh's going to be in some trouble here. Pharaoh's going to get taken out. They've got to use here. This is a catastrophic Uber. Bottle is out for Pharaoh. Sneaky blew himself up meanwhile, but all that work that Harblue did for nothing, for not Marxist.
Yep, and Pharaoh was killed. So it's going to make a push forward, which is what Madmen pretty much have to do, a lot more difficult. And Harb, barely skates out of there with 20 health. And now we got Madmen on the point, trying to do a little bit of fighting, but they lose Mike and Harb. That's probably going to see them go to safer zones. But, Indus nearly caught out by Alec, but couldn't finish it.
Yep, I'm just thinking about off-classing. We've only seen it a little bit as Madmen still are just kind of hanging out here and doing their thing. They're just trying to hold down this area. They're trying to heal up, and they know they're at a disadvantage as well, so Indus is playing it real safe. It is a wide open area here. It would be real easy for a soldier or a demo on blue to just sort of jump right in, and Indus knows that. Harblue, again, sort of on the forefront of the fights and trying to pick off any kind of sneaky jumps he can do. His name should be Sneaky. He's coming right in. He's going to see if he can just come. There's sticks there. The skiffs are dead, look like. Harblue going to jump around again. Nothing doing. Pharaoh coming up as well, and he's trying to create space. But like you said, it's so hard to jump out and take space coming out of this choky little door.
Yeah, the little door has ruined many things for many teams. But you don't want to always go flank because then this sort of thing happens to you. But he does land several good rockets on 404, but gonna lose Mike and Harb, so more passive positions will probably be taken. Pharaoh looks like he wants it though. They're coming around the alleyway though, so gotta pull out.
Yeah, pull out. And I didn't notice if Pharaoh had been on the loose cannon the whole time, but he's using the loose cannon now. I don't know if you saw it earlier. Certainly pretty effective on this map. And we have Ubers popped off, Red popping theirs, and Pharaoh's just kind of playing back. They're playing this very passively. I think they maybe realize already, Marxist, they're not going to get anything on this. So total kind of waste there for Red and kind of a reset here, but just because of the positioning, as we've talked about, Red kind of has to get out. Harb is waiting to see if he can surprise someone in a little hiding spot there. He comes down, he does get a pick on Alec and gets taken out. Yeah, it's kind of like both teams could push up to a certain area and then they have to stop because of the layout of the map. That's what we're looking at all night so far. It is, if you're just joining us, you can see it is 1-0 for the Madmen, and I don't know, I'm doubting that we'll see a win by 5 points, Marxist. This comes down to time in the end. We're only in the first half, obviously, but especially in the second half, this will come to time, it feels like.
Yeah, what happened there, since this should be a pretty easy cap, maybe. We'll see what happens, because they do have a man advantage. But, oh, yeah, there we go. So we are actually contesting this. Blank comes in and gets the force. Harblue gets to reprise his semi-pocket days for just a second, and then a scout devours this poor soldier.
Poor soldier. Sneaky goes down. Harblue trying to do that Harblue thing. Showstopper down low at 7 HP gets out safely. In comes Schnell. Schnell's just WM1ing, just forward. Didn't get anyone from the combo, but just trying to shove them out. I think that blue, in behind, who was that? That was Harblue, of all people. I think that Schnell here now realizes that he's going to maybe think about coming around side, but no, they flushed the red team out here. Ding Dong Daddy, do we dare to listen to their comms again, Marxist?
Well, yeah, Dashner's saying yes, so...
Dashner's saying less. Yeah, so let's get an extended, they should get this cap at second, let's get an extended version of maybe radio edit of Ding Dong Daddy com.
Ammo. Okay, I got some.
There's soldiers
behind you.
We're getting in now. We're getting in now.
Do we have advantage?
I'm gonna go left.
No
with
demo.
Dallas.
They pop.
Right.
They have a heavy.
Okay.
Just reset. We're backing up lobby. Soldier's chasing Brad. Soldier's
He's
in
hit.
left side.
I'm trying to stop him from killing him. I got him.
Alright, now let's regroup and push.
Heavy by
Heavy's
Shutter.
main.
They're taking damage by Shutter. Can we collapse here?
I'm about to collapse on them right now.
Alright,
Let's go.
I'm
Med's
dead.
like 150. He's so ripped. Med's like 10 HP.
They're hurt.
Med's dead.
Heavy's hit.
Get Brad out.
Brad, just evacuate.
All
Brad,
three
evacuate.
top
It's
right,
not
yeah.
worth the risk. It's not
Yo,
worth the risk.
Blank's resupping.
Trust me, it's not worth the
I
risk.
think we could have stayed in.
Yeah.
But like, we're gonna win with ad.
There you go. They didn't say any bad words this time. I'm really impressed by the comms of Showstopper, Marxist. Would you agree?
Yeah, well,
Very
he's
vocal.
been at the pocket thing a while, and
Yep.
you know, one of the easiest ways to get better at pocket, if you're trying to be the leader of your team, which you probably should, or you should consider going to Roamer. You want to narrate what you're doing, so, and that's pretty much what Showstopper did there, is he just narrated what he wanted to do and what he was doing. I like the decision to pull 404, but then something like this happens,
Oh,
and now
God.
you've got to have a crappy Uber, and you're 2 down already. So, not the best, and there's the 7th
there's
player
your
on
gun.
the field, so we probably should have just stayed in there last time, guys.
Talk about sort of a collapsing Uber. Can we call it that?
Yeah.
Not what they wanted, and we should have been listening in. Yeah, maybe they should have stayed in on the previous one. And Indust has got his shiny medigun now, ready to do some fun things with it. And Harb is up, and might even take Harb in. Indust trying to get comms of what's going on. Wish we had the comms on Mad Men. If you guys know Mad Men, go yell at them and shout at them and tell them to get in Mumble next time. But at any rate, we're back in this phase. They'll certainly get second here, but they've got to make some magic happen or get something going in order to sort of get out to mid here. Now I'm wondering, Marxist, how effective would it be to run for Red here? Take a sniper and run around that right side, see if you can catch someone napping at mid.
Well, I imagine because of the Uber situation, they're going to play pretty close. I mean, you could try it, but they're actually leaving lobby. So blue team's actually giving them a lot of space here for a sec. I don't know if they were trying to like bait them up, or that's a little unusual. So that's neat. Try different things. We've been at this round for a long time.
This is the
Time to
second
get
round.
into experimenting.
You're just joining us. It is still the second round. Absolutely. 404 has got his Uber now as well, and they're thinking about coming up maybe left. 404 showed left for a second there. There are 2 players down on Madman. It is Blank and Harblue, the soldier, so that is not what they want. So the door swings open, Marxist, although 404 a little hesitant. They are going to come right in. Now they know they're up against an Uber, so if you're Madman right now, you're not feeling too bad, but you gotta get those respawns. You must Mike's on a 10-second timer right now. This could be a chance for Daddy to come in. Let's listen.
They have a heavy back right.
Alright, we're backing up, I guess.
Just back. Just
Let me play sniper.
There's 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half.
I think that's enough time. We have like.
Just play
2 more
back.
pushes.
Just only watch your
Let's
sniper
do,
left.
let's do our hold right. Let's do our hold right.
Do you want me to sniper or no?
Alright, here's the
up to
plan,
you.
guys. We need to milk the
Blank
clock
took
down.
100.
Alright, guys, listen. We have to milk the clock down.
150.
Am I spy or sniper? There's
Up to you,
snipers.
up to
It's up to you.
Alright, I'm gonna
It's up
sniper.
to you.
Demo's close right.
They're trying to make something happen, Marxist. Showstopper trying to take control of the Mumble there, and they're kind of scrambling. You heard them mention it. We only got a few minutes left here in this half, and I feel like they're going to wait and make use of this time, Marxist.
Yeah, it's just like in basketball at the end of a close game. You want to kind of hold the ball so that if you miss your shot here, the other team doesn't get an opportunity to come back and score on you and win the game outright or make it worse. Lots of quick headshots. I heard 2 go down from
2 quick ones.
the god of sniper here. So
Yeah, he was dying. Sneaky Polar Bear was dying to get on Sniper. Why don't we listen in? I feel a push coming. Why don't we see if we can get the meat and bones here of a push.
Cal's holding close. Alright, we need to do something. There's 2 minutes left. What's the
We
plan
have time. We
here?
have time. Just give away the sniper.
Yeah, just get a snipe.
We have a gun.
There's a stick underneath you.
Knock the stickies away if you want to show.
So just push it.
Soldiers in left lobby.
Wanna go
Back.
for it?
I just took
Scouts
the
in
fucking
left
ammo.
lobby.
Alright.
We got
Nice.
a
Alright,
Nice.
let's go left side.
Just get rehealed and fight.
Let's go from right. Let's go from right. We need
There's
to
a
work this
sentry
game.
on left.
Yeah, we're gonna go
I'm
right.
I'm gonna come
Wait,
left.
wait, wait,
No,
wait,
why don't we
wait,
go
Yeah,
left
wait,
and
I'm
come down?
kind of hurt.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go left. Let's go left then. I'm
You want
grabbing
me to go or what?
Yeah, we need to get this gun. We need to get this
Take
gun.
Kosa.
Alright, let's go
Far
far
left.
left. Let's go far left. Let's pin to far left. Let's go. Solar close. Solar. Med's about to pop.
Soldier above main.
They
He's
popped.
at 100.
I don't see the gun. Oh, the
We're
gun's
backing up,
under a
we're-
point, by the way.
Can we just
I
get
didn't
ready to
even
get
get
back in?
No, they're on gray.
No, back.
I don't know where they are, guys.
Just get out. Out. The fucking gun was...
That darn gun, Marxist.
Yeah,
Well,
it was
again,
the hidden gun.
The hidden gun, yeah, well, I think they were kind of expecting it in the previous spots, so nice, oof! Big pick there by Emus Mike on 404. A nice job by Simu, I believe, who placed it in a different place, and that works sometimes. He's back on scout now, he's going to take a bow. Some nice work, I mean, you give credit to Alec, who, oh, look at this. They tried to sneak in and get a sneaky last cap, but it's not going to work. Looks like we are going to head into half. We've got, I don't have my timer, but I believe about a minute or so left. Yeah, Alec got a nice entry pick, which was nice, and it was enough for them to come in. They're putting a little bit of pressure on the back of Sneaky, though. I heard the call there, get a snipe! It's nice when you can get a snipe, but you can't wait forever on a snipe, certainly. So, Red is on mid, certainly, and I think the teams have both resigned now, the fact. Although, you want to be careful if you're Ding Dong Daddy here. Speaking of a snipe, there's Alec on Pharaoh. You want to be careful if you're Ding Dong Daddy. You don't want to let a real sneaky thing happen. You don't want to let blue just... Or, sorry, you don't want a red... I know what I'm talking about, Marxist. You don't want to let red come in on last, with only a few moments left. I'll slow down.
Yeah, they tried, but it's not going to happen. So that should be the end. We're pretty much in garbage time now. Try and get your stats buffed. Oh, there it goes. So we have a hockey game on, or perhaps soccer or football, as the case may be.
Yeah. Or, yeah, football, as they call it in Europe. So we head into half. It is 1-0 for the Madmen, and a lot of people were saying they can't wait to see the stats. Not a huge surprise here, but I mean, big showstopper, big on damage, both showstopper and blank, over 10k damage, doing a lot of work, which certainly we saw. It was backed up. Uber charges are even. Not a whole lot stands out to me here, just a lot of shooting back and forth, and not a whole lot of round wins, Marxist.
Yeah, the teams, I think it's a psychological thing at this point, because this map really helps you if you want to sort of get randomly aggressive, but it'll also really burn you if it doesn't work. And we saw both teams try pretty aggressive stuff every now and again, and it would work one time and then not work another, and they would just drop it and not do it for a little while, and we ended up in some pretty coarse stalemates for a while. And
Well, yeah,
that's
I mean,
how you get a 1-0 score at half.
Yeah. I might have been more correct than I had ever expected at the start of this one when I said the teams were evenly matched. Perhaps I was too correct. So it is 1-0, and I severely doubt in this second half that we're going to see a team get to 5. And so the story now, Marxist, becomes who is going to take the rounds as they become more important now. We're not looking at first to 5. We're looking at who has the most. That can come into play. It's worth watching. I think I noticed Indust had a pick. He had a kill. He had a kill in that first half. I saw him play a pug yesterday where he got 6 frags. 6 frags like the amusement park. But anyway, you know, not a whole lot to talk about during this half, Marxist. I mean, if you were one of these teams and you just suffered through that, you know, half-hour-long, 2-round fest of back and forth, what would you be telling your team, and what would you want to do in this second half to change it up and to, you know, come out on top? How do you go about this?
So the way I would deal with this situation, because I've been in a couple games like this where it was very low scoring and very tight the whole time. The biggest thing that's going to kill you in this game is fatigue. And that sounds really silly because it's a video game, but there's mental fatigue in this game, and people get really frustrated when they can't score, which is, you know, both teams. So you need to make sure you give yourself a little bit of time to cool off and get over the fact that you failed to score any points or only one, and just calm down and talk about what you're going to do for a little bit, and then go have some hot cocoa or a beer or something and come back. Then I imagine we'll see a reasonably long halftime unless somebody has, like, very pressing business tomorrow.
Blood work in the morning. Yeah, the Marxist special, a beer and a hot cocoa. Marxist, knowing these teams, who do you think has the cooler heads, and who do you think will be able to regroup the best in terms of team atmosphere in this second half? That's a bit of a different question, but what would you say?
Well, I can only really speak for the people I've played with, and I know. Well, Madmen have a huge advantage in that they have Harblue, who's basically played every season of TF2, I think, that there has ever been, maybe, possibly. So I'm pretty sure he knows what to do. He's probably been here a few hundred times, maybe. But I know Kosa and Schnell, aka Confident Carl and ESEA, is they're both pretty level-headed, chill people. So I don't imagine any sort of upset-o-meter would come from them. So I don't really know how it'll turn out. It just turns out, it'll be who had a hard day or whatever, and they'll just slip up for that one push there, and you'll let a round go. So, and also another thing you see in these matches sometimes are teams really try to flop their mids to try and get a little bit of advantage, and it ends in catastrophe for one team or the other.
It can,
and we get a 15-minute half.
Yeah, well, we've seen both teams kind of play it both ways. We've seen both Ding Dong Daddy and Madmen have their aggressive moments, and we've seen them sit back and let the fight come to them. We've seen good pushes, and we've seen pushes that were just abysmally bad. So it's been a lot of up and down, and it's been very equal, and this would be a perfect time for you guys in chat if you have any ideas about how this one is going to finish. Tell us, would you? Tell us in chat. I don't know if there was a straw poll done up. If there's no straw poll, you can scream at Mana. But tell us how you think this one is going to finish off, because it is only 1-0 after half for Madmen if you're just joining us. And if you are, thank you for joining us. People are discussing what they think is going to happen right now. People are dropping kappas in chat, which is always good and helps the players in the second half.
The lack of Franker-Z is disturbing.
Let's get some Franker-Z's up in here, guys. Come on. Sorry, Marxist.
Yeah,
I get excited.
But yeah, so we'll see how it all goes down here. I would like to see teams abandon trying to push out of lobby, though. It would do my heart good to just not see that ever again. Because every time a team has done it tonight, it's either been really sad or not very good. So there was one time where Madmen got it to work. And that was like Christmas. It was like being a little kid on Christmas. Because that happens so very rarely.
Marxist, one thing that I was thinking about was, I'm surprised we haven't seen a lot of snipers. And maybe that's just me personally, and certainly it comes down to the players that are playing. There are not a whole lot of sort of mega snipers in this one, but when I think of Metalworks, I think of crazy stuff. I've seen like double snipers on last offense and stuff like that, and there are a couple shooting lanes. This isn't a huge sniper map, but like I talked about, that side, that flank area near second where you can kind of sneak and get a shot on mid. I've just been surprised. I bet you haven't been too surprised, but I was just hoping maybe we'd see more headshots. Marxist, that's all I'm saying.
Some people really like it, but I will say in some older versions of Metalworks, the sniper lines were a little bit better. But now I would say if anybody would get a lot of advantage out of it, so far from what I've seen, from the way teams hold, I think Madmen would have a little bit of an advantage there.
Really?
Just because Ding Dong likes to hold on the point.
Yeah.
So if you did run a sniper, he would at least see somebody's kneecap or something before he died. And sometimes that's just enough.
Yeah, just shoot a kneecap. Well, I was going to say that maybe the advantage in terms of sniping is probably just because I've seen more of the daddies this season so far than I have of Madmen, but I've seen some good sniping out of both Alec and Sneaky Polar Bear, who we saw as a god last time. But yeah, I mean, it'll remain to be seen. Maybe we won't see any snipers or any spies. We've already seen both of those. We've seen a lot of heavy on last and engineer, a little bit of Highlander. The teams right now, if you're just joining us, I guess they're just kind of regrouping and doing that pep talk thing. Myself and Marxist are here. My name's Getawhale. We just talked about how these teams had kind of a stalemate-y, I'm not going to say I don't know. How would you describe the first half in one word, Marxist? You're wordy.
Mistakes.
Mistakes were made. Well, we are about to go back live, just as I say that, it looks like. So we've got our green text, and let's watch someone on the Madmen on mid this time. And I'm thinking, why don't we look at, or tell you what, let's look at Daddies. We've been looking at crazy, like, everyone on Madmen. Let's look
Well,
at
we've
Showstopper.
only had 2 mids so far. Getawhale,
Yeah, 2
it's
mids,
okay.
right. Well, I'm looking at Showstopper because I like his comms a lot. I like people that can calm efficiently and make things happen. He's going to run into a face full of cannonball right off the bat, and he's going to soldier in his face as well, and is in a lot of trouble. Harblue's in behind. He's going to have to go to the pack here, and sort of all of Daddy sort of coming right back. A real passive mid for Madmen who sort of sat all the way back, and they're not going to give it up here. Pharaoh just kind of reloading. Well, maybe they are. They're going to just let him have it. They didn't lose their men or anything like that. They're just going to let him have it easy. I mean, Indus has got a big advantage on healing, and he's going to probably have his in time, but you don't want to pop it here, Marxist.
Well,
maybe he does.
Then Kosa dies.
Yeah, well, Kosa's dead, and 404 is down to 23 health. He grabbed the pack, but Madmen taking their chance here, and this is still the first rollout here in this round. And they got the better of that. So some patience out of the Madmen. I'm impressed by that, and I think Pharaoh plays really patiently, but unfortunately Indust had to pop his. So I don't know, are they going to just stand there? They were thinking about getting real aggressive, but as we said, you really got to do a lot in order to... I don't know what happened with Blank getting caught all the way up here. Blank got taken out by Kosa. But yeah, some patience, Marxist.
Yeah, Blank went in for the force, I think, and he just, you know, it's hard to get out when you're that deep in. They had a pretty good opportunity to push immediately after the Uber, but they had to do things like cap the point and run around a bit. So there was that going on. And now we're back at the stalemate. I don't see anything going on right now.
Stalemate.
We do have Harblu up in lobby, though, which means Blank is... Well, I guess they're just going to rotate because Blank was respawning. I got excited that we'd have a pocket in the flank, but they're double soldier spamming. That's cool, at least.
Yeah, and I'm surprised because they've been playing soldiers on the left and doing that double jump a little bit, but they're leaving the flank kind of wide open right now. Seymour was over there, but maybe Harp going to cycle back around here now. Harp has been doing a lot of those double jumps from the left, but maybe now the Uber going to come from this side. We haven't really seen that yet. Harp with one jump in, just checking out what's going on. Get back. And some of the daddies now, we've got 4 of the daddies coming around this flank, including 404. I don't know, just kind of jockeying for position right now, Marxists. They wish they had wall hacks so they could see what was going on, but they don't. We have wall hacks.
That we do, Getawhale.
We have the magic. So Harp is down on bottom right now, and again, this is one of the tough spots, certainly one of the toughest second points of any of the maps we play in ESEA, right, Marxist?
Well, if you want to try to push through lobby, that would be a very correct statement. But the problem is the optimal way to push on, as we have a sniper come out from You Must Mike, but he's in kind of a weird spot, and it looks kind of like the trench scene from Star Wars down there right now. Use the Force, Mike, and maybe he'll get a kill.
Use the Force. The trench scene, that's a new one on me, Marxist. That's why I love having you on these casts so much. You Must Mike is on Sniper. Maybe he was listening to the cast during half. I'm not sure. That's almost never true, but I like to imagine they do. He's going to come around this left side, and I don't know if they're going to see it coming here. Let's look at You Must Mike, and whiffs on his first shot. He's going to try his second one, a little no scope. That's not going to work. The flank comes in right away, although he's got his demo Pharaoh in there trying to buy him some room, but it's not going to work out. You Must Mike looked like maybe he got a body shot on the one soldier there, but I don't know. Daddy, are they going to back out and just give him this respect now? You Must Mike is just scoping. We've got some action going down, lots of spam going down, lots of demo and soldier spam, but You Must Mike can't get anything from it. And Harb is down as well.
I mean, the advantage here is that you've lost Harb now, and most medics get pretty queasy when they know a sniper's out there, because you know, he could kill you instantly. Yeah, so 404 just immediately pops. That's the big advantage from the sniper being on the field. It's pretty much the only advantage he gives you, because otherwise sniper is pretty bad for like actually fighting in close range. But that got rid of their Uber right away, so we've got a good solid fight going right now over mid.
It is. Madmen are down to 3. Sumo is in there trying to do some work. Takes the soldier out, goes down himself. It's just Indus now and you must Mike and trying to regroup. They are going to find each other, emotionally speaking.
Yeah.
So there's an advantage obviously now for 4-4. Indus is going to kind of stand here, but got a funny feeling he's going to be all the way back at last. They're holding pretty far forward here. I don't know what Indus is doing.
Well, they're trying to, show a little bit. You gotta be a peacock every now and again, Getawhale. Just show that you're there. Make them respect the lobby a little bit.
You have to respect the lobby a little bit. I was just worried for Indus's health that he was going to get wrapped, but we're all good now. We're back. Why don't we listen to our favorite team who uses bad language, Ding Dong Daddy, on this last encounter. What do you think?
Meh.
Push hard blue so that we don't lose 2 if they chaos.
They're peeking the shutter aggressively right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sack.
hurt,
This
dude.
will be my sack.
They're
I
trying to
can't
zonk.
be in there, dude. I can't. I'm 80.
I'm dead. He's going to shutter, kind of.
Watch counter side. They're
We
standing right.
shouldn't hold
Yeah,
him
he
lobby.
shuttered.
We
Alright,
should
yeah,
get
back
out.
up, back up, back up, back
Like
up.
hold on bridge.
Well, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, ping
Alright,
long.
We should hold flank.
I don't need to be that far back.
Let's hold flank, hold flank.
They're coming left. They're banana right
Alright,
now.
I'm left side, guys.
Should I just come scout then?
Yeah.
To fight?
Soldiers
Mhm.
bottom right.
They might fight. They might
I'm gonna
fight.
snipe that.
Watch the silver bomb. Watch the
He's
silver bomb.
backing.
They're backing up, Alex.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop some domes.
Alec gonna pop some domes, watch it, but he's got Seymour actually up on the other side on Madmen on Sniper, so we get a little bit of a sniper duel going on. Gonna watch and see who can pop heads.
Well,
Who's gonna pop the heads? Well, we saw
his head got
someone
popped
get
right
popped.
away.
There it was, and that was a headshot, right, guys? Right, chat? It was a nice headshot there, of course, by Seymour, who's off classic, and now the we have Scout just Mike just has balls to just stand there in front of the Uber combo and just kind of body block them when you're not Ubered yourself, and trying to move on a little bit of momentum if possible. Ding Dong Daddy, they are definitely patient if they're anything. Would you agree with that? They don't seem to get upset, you know what I mean? They don't seem to act rashly.
Yeah, Showstopper's poise here has really impressed me. From we wouldn't normally listen to the comms, but he knows what he's doing pretty well here. He's kept things under control. Sneaky's gonna do the old roamer bang bang trade, and no Harblue, no Seymour. So I think that might be the end of Madmen kind of posturing here. 404 is getting pretty close. I know Endust is good enough; he'll know pretty much down to the percentage how much 404's got. But now it's getting into that
Sneaky's
zone.
up on Spy. Sneaky's up on Spy. So, I don't know if we're going to see a 3K here. We saw one a week or two ago by none other than 7 Alpha. But let's see what Sneaky's got up his sleeve here. I'm watching. I always got to watch the Spy, you know? Why don't we listen in? Because we're going to listen.
Let's don't attract too much fire for Jake.
Yeah, no one spam right, please.
There's scouts peeking close.
They're watching.
Soldiers are-
Snipers, bridge, main. Might be able to do this. Can spam? Can we spam?
That's sniper,
right.
right?
Can we spam now?
I'm not really peeking.
They see me. No, we can't. It's not gonna happen without spam. He's
Alright,
constantly.
watch out counter side. Watch counter side. Demo's right.
They're
Scout,
coming left.
soldier,
They're
and
pushing
left.
left. 3 of them.
Alright,
Combo
we're
combo.
rotating left. We're rotating left. Soldier's
Soldiers
out.
on.
Soldiers on med. Kill him. Don't. Nice.
Alright,
Scout lower.
let's flood right. Flood right.
Let's go
flood
lower.
right. Let's flood right to last. There's 6 here.
I
We
used.
popped.
Demo's
We
on right. Soldiers
we
main.
Just shutter. Go kill him.
Can we get the force or something? They have Uber. Demo's.
They're pushing
right.
in main.
They're pushing into
main.
us.
Can we go for a backup or something? Demo's
Yeah,
right.
He's
I'm
pulling
on
him
last. I
back.
might pull him
Do they not
back.
force?
No, he's stealing with
No.
Uber on last. They're down 3 though.
Demo's close right. We just need backup here, guys.
I got all their
I
spawns.
need.
Wow, a lot of great action going on there. Sneaky's Spy play didn't work out, but real smart, and it's... God, I could sit on those comms kind of all day. We've got an Uber popped off. We'll talk about it here in a second. But, yeah, I mean, Ding Dong Daddy just hanging out, and they're very patient at that last. They got the force that they wanted. They're at 75 now, but they're pushed back, unfortunately. But they're not too patient at last. What are they failing to do, Marxist, at last? We've seen them there so many times.
Well, yeah, it's just they're getting in stages. So the teams, this last in particular, really favors everyone going the same way. and they're getting split up a lot when they push in last. That last one was mainly just a function of 404. He couldn't see what was behind that shutter door, but he knew it had obliterated Showstopper.
Right.
And so he popped Uber to not let Showstopper die, and they couldn't do anything with it.
And they're in now, they're on last. It's all of red, just flooding it. Seymour's on there trying to do what he can. There's no gun this time, and Heavy is out though. The big walking gun is out there. Batman is doing what he can. Pharaoh's taken out. It's still 404 in there. Ubersaw is out on the Soldier. Big kill though. That was a drop, I think. I saw some sparks, Marxist, but in the end, Ding Dong, last man standing. They take a round, and we're looking at 1-1. That was a fun last.
Yep, it was a chop and drop for Indus there, so you can't hold that one against him, really.
Nope. Well, I'm looking at Kosa right now, who's going to see what he can do on this middle, and 1-1 now. It is the second half, and like we said, here comes Harv with the big double jump when he's on roof and he's in way behind, which he loves to do. I think that Daddy's going to let him have it. Blank is down below, and a lot's down low. No one really above. Blank going to finally... Only 2 players up on Daddy, and I think he's wondering where the Daddies are. They're dead! They're dead, Blank! You killed them all. Except for Sneaky and 4-4 up. Pretty impressive there. What do you see, Marxist?
The big thing on that mid is Pharaoh's loose cannon. He just spammed cannonballs into the right side lobby door, and there was like a scout and a demo trying to come out of that door, and they just got donked out of the mid. And that was it's really hard to fight mid when 2 of your players can't get there, so
definitely
that pretty much ruined it.
Douglas Dunkerstein making an appearance, and we have Alec now is up on Sniper. I'm gonna find him eventually now. He's thinking better of it. We've got big fights going down here at last, and it's Madmen haven't been pushing last a whole lot, and boy oh boy, this is not the kind of uber pop that they want, as Indus is just kind of, I don't know, wandering around. Not the way they want it. Now they're caught out. Look at Madmen. They're underneath. They've got players above them. Indus goes down big time, and that's maybe an awareness kind of mistake. Wow, this is kind of breaking down here. We're getting some scrappy fights everywhere, Marxist.
Oh, the scout battle. Simu has the presence of mind to get on the point. The med is probably going to get there. No, he doesn't. There he goes.
Unbelievable, and perhaps the fight's getting away from the players themselves, not just us. There were about 3 fights going down at once, and there were players all over the map. I want to mention it while I remember. We have new health bars, guys. The health bars. Look at the health bars on the mid as we look at this. Give us your feedback. Tell us if you like the health bars, the team health bars. But at any rate, why don't you take us through the mid, Marxist?
Well, Pharaoh, I was sad to say, did not go with his cannonball strat, which would have worked perfectly, because that's the door I guess Ding Dong really likes. But while I'm explaining that, that's it for Madmen, and this is a big round. Sneaky, are you gonna? If Sneaky doesn't survive, so that at least pulls them out of the disaster zone for the time being, because they're gonna have to probably delay just a little bit. Yeah, because you don't want Kosa to get put in the sad zone and be by himself.
Sad boys, give us some sad boys in chat, guys. Meanwhile, certainly full Uber right now is 404, and Daddy feels like they've been on the offensive, doesn't it, for a whole lot of this match, and they're going to all come left, looks like.
And
we have a pause, looks like.
Pause or server crash?
Remember those? We haven't had a pause, I don't think, in any cast we've done this season so far. Maybe on a different cast. What I was going to say, certainly it looks like you can see it for yourself. We've got Ding Dong Daddy, all of them looking to come left.
The only tragedy here is that Sneaky Polar Bear isn't with this push. I'm looking for a Sneaky Polar Bear because he's alive.
I think he just got back up, yeah.
Oh,
he's back
he's back getting the health back.
He didn't get the memo. He's doing his own thing.
Because ideally, right, Seymour's dead, and assuming that nobody on Ding Dong has, had their power go out or something, they could probably get through this without ever having to pop. And with Indust's Uber where it is, that's great. That's what we call in the TF2 great.
That's a technical term. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm wondering, trying to get word if we know what the reason is for the pause or not. But you said it yourself, Marxist. This is an important round. You know, the Madmen just snuck one away. If you just missed it, you missed one of the better back caps we've seen in a little while. One of the more chaotic back caps we've had. We don't see back caps very often on Metalworks, worth mentioning. But if you're Ding Dong Daddy, you're probably fairly upset that you just had one snuck away from you. And you want to take one back because we've talked about it. Time is an issue right now. We're in the second half, and we're back live, and certainly the Daddies want to take one. Every round is very important. I can't say it enough. Kosa's right in here. We've got everyone but Sneaky Polar Bear, as we alluded to. The force! That was a nice force on the Uber there, and nothing going to be done here that I can't imagine they're going to do anything here. Kosa's going to push a little bit, but that was a fantastic force of the Uber there by, it looked like Harblue.
Yeah, that was big, because under normal circumstances, that probably shouldn't have happened.
Right.
But, you know, you get it out, that's what they pay Harblue the big bucks for.
Right.
And, so now they're in a pretty tight situation, because this should be a patented Madman push-out, and there it goes. So we've got an Ubered soldier, but really nothing going on. There's actually a Sneaky Polar Bear hopping around behind, gonna get directed by Harblue. So you get that with a guy who's a multiple-time ESEA champion to catch the Sneaky behind your point.
Yeah, I've heard that he does know how to play this game. Certainly Harb, one of the best. Love him or hate him, you can't deny he's one of the best. Blank is jumping up now, coming towards mid, and fighting this out with 4 players is Ding Dong Daddy, perhaps ill-advised here. They want to get out all 4 of those guys if they want. Waiting on spawns maybe, but Alec is in some trouble, and here we go again, another force by Big Tony. Harblue. And
wow.
I've got to give him a lot of credit. He's certainly, I'm not going to say he's carrying the team on his back because it's been a great team effort, but man, oh man, he's been in the right place at the right time to get forces and get big picks. As Alec is coming right in here, there's only one player up, it's Pharaoh. The slow cap on that second, and I don't know, they've got a lot of players on 12-second respawn here. Madmen does. Showstopper's in on the point. Let's listen to this. The comms aren't synced because of the pause, but we can imagine what they may be saying, Marxist. They can use our imaginations.
I mean, the tragedy there is you had the guy lag out, because that was a possible thing that could have happened. So we're out of sync now. I should also point out, just for posterity, Kosa in that last whole series from the mid till the time where he died, we had a soldier lag out, went absolutely Dunkin' Donuts huge.
And we have another one. Lightning is striking twice, and we have a second pause by the looks of it. And so this one is slowing down just a little bit. Obviously one of the players having some trouble. We have our second pause. Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts, that's a new one on me. I mean, it's a little early yet to start talking about standout players or MVPs for this match, but you've got to give a lot of credit to Harblue, don't you?
Yeah, he's getting the forces when they need him to, and that's not not the easiest job for Roamer to do. Yeah,
we're getting our comms sorted back on and stuff like that so that we will have them when we get back up, but we're having some problems. Why don't I look? I'm going to look at the stats while you to see if there's anything interesting from this half while you think of things to say, Marxist.
Yeah, I'm listening to the bots reloading, and it's very soothing to me. But yeah, so I'll just outline what Kosa did there. Since we're at the pause, and you know, this will probably be lost to everyone but who's watching the stream right now. Kosa killed Pharaoh with the crit donk thing, you know, when it does the extra damage. Pharaoh died there. He didn't expect that. I can imagine Pharaoh saying, wow, about that time, because that's probably, you know, I've played a lot with Pharaoh. That's what he'd say. And then So he died, and then he just threw stickies out all over the point and took him to Dunkin' Donuts. And then he got to last and he killed Pharaoh again. And that's your Dunkin' Donuts moment.
That's your Dunkin' Donuts moment of the match. Thank you for Dunkin' Donuts for sponsoring this ESEA invite match. And a lot of action going down now. 404 is backing out and he's taking his crew and getting the F out of there. Ding dong for Dallas is happening in the chat. I don't know what that is. Uber is going to be on the side of Indus, but he's got to dole out some heals to his Pharaoh, and he's got his Harblue that needs to come back up as well if my scoreboard is up to date. Both teams now have their Uber, as a matter of fact. And Harblue is getting back with his team.
Yep, so I asked Pharaoh what the deal was, what was happening. Apparently Alec crashed, and then whilst they were getting Alec back in the server, Showstopper crashed. I have seen this happen before, so
classic Showstopper.
It's not a server problem, it's just, you know, TF2 decides that it's its time.
Well, hashtag Showstopper, guys. You know who to blame. At any rate, we are muddling along here, and Pharaoh is still trying to get those cannonballs. Using his little Cannonball Z there, back on the sticks, but taking a lot of damage. And one of these moments here.
Yeah, just watching it.
Yeah, just watching it. We're going to sit back and see who has the big ball play. Who can come around and, you know, get a pick. It's pretty different. And here comes a double jump. Actually, Harblue jumped around and thought better of it and came right back in the door backwards. Not going for the double jump after all. Both teams know that there's Uber on both sides. No real off-classers here, and it's just a matter of, I mean, what do you do in this case?
So I liked what I saw from Mad Men there. Like when people were really theory crafting about this map when it first came out, you couldn't rotate around in a big circle, and they're trying to do that. Harblue didn't get it there, so no go for that. But so you could like jump from the left and then land on the bridge and walk in, or try and get out and jump around the left and get out that way, and just keep rotating around these two doors so you at least get a little variety in your life.
Mm-hmm. Pharaoh's coming around the left side here now. Oh no, he was thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of the soldiers try some jumping antics here, and we've seen some efficient forces. I don't know why they don't do it more often. Certainly the teams are expecting it, probably. Here they come now. They're just going to come right in through that choky door, and the encounter's going on, but they're going to back right the hell out, and not liking what they got on that Uber. They knew right off the bat they had the worst Uber, and they've got to get the hell out of there quickly because Ding Dong Daddy are coming forward, and that is... We've got the soldier right up in the face. Yeah, Sneaky Polar gets taken out. We've got now as well Kosa coming up, and really taking advantage there of a solid Uber. Sometimes that's all you need is the better Uber, Marxist.
Yeah, they had a rough time. That's, you know, an Uber out of lobby is pretty much... It's a 50-50 as to whether it's going to work or be absolutely terrible. There's no, well, that wasn't so bad kind of Uber from up there, and that's just part of the map. And, yeah, and then 404 forced Uber, because that's what you do 9 times out of 10 when the other team pops Uber on you. But he really didn't need to. It was such a bad situation for Mad Men, they just had to run away.
Yeah, well, listen, we talked about how important this round is for Ding Dong Daddy. Let's see what they're talking about in Mumble.
The Uber now.
I think I know.
Oh, hit. Demo.
Alright, come, Jake, come out, buff and do your shit.
I didn't
I'm
use
here,
it.
buff.
Just everyone stay buffed here. Everyone's spamming dogs. They're spamming close choke right now.
Med side force.
Nice.
Do not back up. I got their med drop down. The med's gonna take a really long time to get up top.
We're backing into mid. We're backing into mid then.
Yeah, exactly. Play back, make them die for
Brian, where are you?
I'm backing.
Alright.
Just don't die.
Everyone live.
Well, we know what the strategy is going to be. We've talked about it a little bit, Marxist. You know, let the fight come to you and capitalize. Let the other team make a mistake. That's a smart way to do it.
Well, it's a consideration with it's almost like a meta play. So Mad Men has to push up and try and force 404, or they might lose the round. So as 404, you've got 2 options. You can try and push past them with an Uber, which they chose not to do, or back up, and they backed up. So,
well, but here they come again.
Uber is actually it's building pretty quick there. So.
Yep.
They're trying not to pop here, which is the right choice, but they're going to go ahead and go. They want to get blank really bad.
They got a lot of players out of position here. The Uber, Showstopper came around the back, and Uber just in time. They got the demo though, but I don't know if that's what they wanted right now. It is a 4v4 situation, and if they can fight this out, it may be possible. But no, here comes in. Looks like that was Blank, sorry, that jumped in on them. Alec is down low, gets another pick. I don't know, but we could have a scrappy fight that ends with someone sneaking on the last again, so we'll keep our eyes open for that, Marxist. Doesn't look like it's going to happen here, though, as Seymour's going to back out and take an Indus with them. It was real lucky timing there, and I think you nailed it. If Indus didn't heal as well as he did and build with, I think, Seymour, I mean, he would have went down. Showstopper was in and almost caught everyone off guard.
Yeah, that would have been a disaster. Well, to be fair to Madmen, I think they knew how much Uber they had, so they were trying to like swing it and block the point. Whoa, but there's a big death on a demo man named Kosa, and that's gonna bait out a big push from Madmen. And there will also be an Uber involved in this. Madmen doing a really wonderful job of building Uber here to get Indus Indies so quick, but we have a sniper too from Alec.
And Indus spotted it right away, and he knows it's there now. He's going to come back up the other way. He knows his head is in danger. Oh, and he loses Blank. That was a nice shot by Schnell. I don't know if Blank must have had his hammer out as he got taken out there. We have another pause, Marxist. Obviously, these players continuing to have some issues.
Yeah, sometimes TF2 just doesn't agree with you. There was a Viaduct I played once, and I think I DC'd from the server like 3 times. And I was generally really upset. A story a friend of mine, Smooth, always tells is there was one. He was the captain of his team when they were like coming up through Open. Most people probably don't remember Smooth unless you've been around a while. He won Open season 12, and he said that one night his internet was just so bad he couldn't play, but he could get on Mumble on his phone, right? And all he did was listen to the comms on his phone and pace back and forth through the room because he was so nervous that his team would lose the game without him.
That's weird.
That's what happens when you become a team leader. Like you just have to invest so much of yourself into the whole team. We hear Showstopper's comms, like
right.
He is on point.
Well, I mean, we've seen guys like Harblu as well on the side of Madmen in person, seen the passion that they have for the game, and I think it's, even though it is early in the season, certainly it's easy to say that matches at the end of the season mean a bit more because you know what you're fighting for, but both of these teams, I think, treat the start of the season just as seriously. You want to get those wins and get ahead as quickly as you can. The best teams that we've seen for the past, 100 of seasons, they win a ton of games at the start of the season, and then they can just sort of sit back once they've got their land spot made out. So, meanwhile, we're back. On that note, on a land note, we've got dueling Ubers at last here, and got some floating around players for a second. Indus has got his soldier, and they're going to try to make sure they flush out all of the players on Daddies, because they had a little bit of a cap there. They're eking it out, and Indus goes down to the scout, and now it's a bad situation. It's 3v2. Alec is up on Sniper, so really it's a 2v2, unless he gets a big headshot. SMG is out, and Alec is just going to be able to get on it right here. Yeah, full wipe. And Daddy ties it up.
Yeah, he used his railgun there from Quake, no scope and blank, over and over again, and it turned out for him. So we are at a tie game, 2-2. We're pretty much where we were.
We are pretty much where we were.
Evensies.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, it's now best of however many rounds they can cap out. I'm looking at Kosa on this mid. I'm going to back up and look here as we see another just jump in. Harblu in behind every time. We've got, though, Showstopper doing the same thing. He's going to roam his way in, come in on Indus, went down to Showstopper, who came in behind. I didn't see what Harblu did, but that's a big pick for Showstopper. Certainly not the end-all be-all. They're still going to win this mid. It is 1v1 right now, and it's going to be Seymour standing on that point, although he's going to have it challenged. So almost everyone going down on that mid right now, and it's one scout versus one scout. And let's see. I've seen them win these. I've seen both of them win these. Seymour and Alec going to do it out. It's not, at this point, not incredibly important who gets the mid, because everyone's back up again.
Yeah, the big part of it is, like, the consideration for, as a scout player, should you go in there, is whose spawns are coming up quicker.
Right.
So, they just yoinked out of there, in the
Not a
case
big
of
deal.
Seymour. He didn't want to end up being that guy that died and screwed everything up.
Yeah, nobody wants to be that guy. Marxist.
I should also point out my little humorous tidbit there was Showstopper and Blank caught each other on the mid, Pocket versus Pocket 1v1 MGE Metalworks mid, and they each fired 2 rockets at each other, and then Showstopper fired his last rocket, killing Blank,
Got the
and Blank
med.
shot a shotgun and killed him too.
Oh, Showstopper I saw Showstopper actually get the med. It was a pick on Indus, which is nice, but like I say, medic pick not super important in mid, obviously. Seymour is going to back up. We had Sneaky jumping in, and looks like Red want to move. Showstopper coming up along the left, the Pocket Soldier, the aforementioned. And it looks like a push is coming from the left side here for Ding Dong Daddy, and if they can just body presence this out, in comes Sneaky and Showstopper following, so double soldiers in, they get the force. Just going to back up and chill now. They're just going to chill. They finally do pop, and Harbley gets caught in a piece of geometry. He was in a polygon there. Showstopper going to push up, but just real easy here. They're going to just flush out lobby and get their second and plan their push, Marxist.
Yep, we'll probably... Well, I'm surprised Sneaky doesn't come... There we go. Sneaky is on Sniper, so there we go. So he follows the nice universal rule of TF2ing is if your team is going to cap second and you died and you don't play Medic, Demo, or Pocket, you probably should off-class.
Should we listen to a team? I think no, we've lost the comms. We could maybe we'll do the voices of the comms on Ding Dong Daddy. What do you think, Marxist? You know what? This is what happens when people drop and we have pauses. We lose their comms. Unfortunately,
yep. They disappear from the system.
But certainly we've seen them be very composed on these lasts. And where do you think it's coming from right now? Kosa just doing his little spam thing. Do you think we're going to see? I'm looking for the medic right now. Where's this push coming from, Marxist? They're looking right.
Well, what they're trying to do is,
Ooh, we had a headshot.
What you're trying to do is you want to get most of the subsidiary defenders, the guys who hang out back towards the point, to start talking about spam from some door, and that's when the sniper peaks. And then that way, the likelihood that he'll be killed by the counter sniper is at its lowest. But we got Sneaky coming back on the Sneaky class. Also, I should note Seymour has spawned a 7th player on the map, and is building a dispenser as well.
An 8th player, and the spy is down already. So much for that. They know that Sneaky Polar Bear is a soldier, so are Madmen going to come in on this? I've got to doubt it because they've got a sniper and engineer up, as we've said. Although maybe Blank is in on this. Blank wants in on 404. He wants blood. 404 pops his Uber, and they're going to see what they can get on this. Now, they don't know about the gun, though, I don't think, yet. And, well, they heard it just then. Nice headshot. That's Yuma's Mike, who got a second one on Alec as well, and going a little bit ham. Mandatory Michael on that sniper rifle, as the kids say. That's very impressive, and that'll shut down a push if anything will.
Yeah, the two. Sorry to cut you off there, but so you got those 2 shots there, but the Blank push out there to Uber Force and then get dropped is like classic Madman. That was that's one of the things that it was sort of their special Madmen thing that they did.
Signature move. It was their ultimate. Well, we've got, looks like we've got another one of these moments brewing as, well, maybe not, as Harblu's going to back off a little bit, and both teams are going to wait around and see which one of them feels more ballsy. Certainly, in terms of positioning, I think that Daddy sort of have the advantage here. There is a bit of a slight kind of height advantage by being at middle, and they're going to shut down any roof here for any of the scouts or soldiers. Sneaky is in, and comes Showstopper as well, and we're going to try to flush them right out of this area at all. That's a little sneaky kind of choke there, that little hallway where that little door they were standing in, and Madmen have to get out. Don't really see that too much, a team kind of ganging up in that little door, do you, Marxist?
Yeah, it's also easy to get trapped there too, so
right.
It's a scary time, but actually Pharaoh gonna go down here to the bomb up. Harblu forced the Uber, but, you know, it didn't really make too much of a difference. Indust counter pops on second there, and then they just can't stay. And now they've got to make a decision. Do you see them go for it here? Oh, 404 is dead, and so is Showstopper. Harblu getting 3 kills there. The Fat Man comes out. It's just a lone scout trying to kill Indust. And I think you know what this means.
I do. Harblu on heavy. Fat Tony. That's all I have to say on that. Sorry, I just got carried away there. I'm a nickname guy, Marxist.
No,
Blank is in. Blank doing a sneaky little move here. Who got in on? He just kind of wrapped and did a silly little fun thing. Oh, and
that's what that means, Getawhale. That's what I meant.
Wasn't checking my time.
Yeah, it was 6 minutes and 50 seconds when that round started. And I had some sort of thing running through my mind to the effect of like, I wonder how many more rounds we're gonna get Getawhale. But I never said it. And then the fact was, we got 0 rounds.
0 rounds. Well, that's what, giving the spectators what they want. So we will be going to a golden cap. A cap of the most golden variety. We are going to have our comms back for the Golden Cop round. The Golden Cop round. So, Marxist, you know, this has been an interesting match so far. Hasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, part of it is that the Metalworks meta, as it is kind of worked out, so teams have to try and get a little creative at times, and it forces you to take risks. And when a game is tight like this, especially now that we're in Golden Cap, the risk taking may drop to 0.
Yeah, absolutely. Call it overtime, call it an extra frame, an extra, you know, round, call it what you will. It is Golden Cap. We see those who dare to risk it all in these overtimes. Sometimes it pays off, and sometimes you are the GOAT, and you cost your team everything. And so it'll be interesting to see, do they come out on this Golden Cap round passively? Teams typically do. Or are we going to see big risks? We have a lot of risk takers in this one, Marxist. I'm thinking of Harblu, of course. I'm thinking of Sneaky Polar Bear. I don't think is afraid to get in there. Showstopper as well. We've seen a lot of double soldier jumping mids for Ding Dong Daddy. So I'm wondering, is there going to be any kind of shenanigans on the mid, or is it just going to be sort of old school, old-fashioned, you know, play it out and just slow roll it? It'll be interesting to see what approach each of these teams takes.
I imagine that we won't be seeing a lot of medic at mid. But of all maps, this one I would say is pretty forgiving of wiping at mid. So, I mean, if you do have a disaster catastrophe zone mid, then it's not a huge deal because the heavy has that little wall to hide behind, and it's kind of hard to get to him when the Uber versus no Uber last push comes in. So, I mean, you've at least got that. It's not exactly gully wash, but it's still pretty defendable. So, we'll see. Yeah, I always babble on about what, you know, we get to see what kind of you know, leader we've got here in each team when you get into Golden Cap, because they're either going to say, let's do this, and that's what we're going to do. And if it doesn't work, you know, it was luck on the other team's part. Yeah. And or you have the, let's play this pretty conservatively, don't lose.
Yeah, a few things I'm looking at on the stats. Certainly both teams are pretty even on damage and whatnot, and a lot of the players pretty even. Showstopper and Blank continue to both over 20k on damage. One thing I noticed, what was it? I was just looking right at it. Harblu had 7 med picks, which is a pretty big stat, and so he's doing his thing, as we've mentioned. The other one was Dominations. 5 Doms by Alec leads all players. I'm just looking for little interesting tidbits, you know? I like to analyze the stats a little bit. It doesn't say F all in the end, because all that matters, of course, is who wins, Marxist. And if you guys are just joining us, if you played your match tonight or whatnot, my name's Getawhale, his is Marxist. I'm sure you knew that already. But we are getting ready for the golden cap here between the Madman and Ding Dong Daddy, and it's been slow going, as we sort of said. It's Metalworks. What can you expect from Metalworks? If it's not a roll, they tend to go this way. They tend to be pretty even, and that's what we've had here today. We've had lots of interesting off-classing plays. We've had lots of balls to the wall plays, and we're getting ready. We thank you for joining us here on teamfortress.tv. Had a lot of great matches for this early in the season so far, haven't we, Marxist? I'm pumped to see what the rest of the season has for us. I mean, these aren't even the important matches, right? You know? It's the start of the season.
It's the early times, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting golden caps already, which is encouraging.
Yep. And this is the second one, I think, that I've been involved in. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there was a third one. Maybe I blocked it out if there was, but yeah, this is the second one, so that's pretty good. I don't know of too many seasons where we've ended up in this early. So, and that's encouraging to have it be so tight, even though, and to be honest, this wasn't, there have been stalemates that are 2-2, and they were abysmal things to watch, and this wasn't really so bad. They did a lot of pushing back and forth. Things were pretty fluid throughout. You had mids being played and pushes into last not working and things like that, and it was all right.
It's all right. As you speak there, Marxist, we're gonna have a look at a couple highlights actually for some replays, because we have that technology. As some people who are just joining us, they may not have caught these. First one will be Kosa Cap that we just saw recently. I'm trying to get a feel. I don't know how many people. I feel like a lot of folks just must have finished their matches, of course, and come and join us. Also, we've got a big showstopper air shot that we're going to be looking at here as well. So we've had some highlights, and maybe we'll look at some of those at the end, and hopefully get some interviews at the end as well. But yeah, replays. We can go look at those in the VOD after on YouTube, right, Marxist? That's Team Fortress TV on YouTube.
It's hard to find.
I'm such a shill, you know? So guys, we are just waiting for the teams to ready up. It is an overtime round, and they want to get their stuff together. You're going to have our comms back for Ding Dong Daddy. And again, if you are friends with anyone on the Madmen, tell them to get their asses in Mumble next time we do a match. So we can have comms from both teams. Go scream at Madmen. Don't scream at them now because they have an important match they're playing, but scream at them in general.
The Golden Cap. I've been involved in 2 of them, Getawhale, and it's
2 as a player.
Yeah. Because they don't happen all that often.
Right.
So usually, you'll have a 5-4, and you're like, well, okay. But then you end up in these where it's like 4-4, 2-2, 3-3, and then you go to the Golden Cap, and it's the first time especially, it's pretty nerve-wracking. The first one I ever had was in a playoff game, but I think maybe we're going live?
Yeah, we're live.
The green text has happened.
Got them letters. You know what? I think I want to look at Showstopper. I feel like how he performs on this mid will say a lot about how this mid plays out, Marxist. Do you want to call this mid? You take it. It's all you.
Oh, sure. So we got both demos coming out the right side, but we have a Harblue in. He bounces off of his head, kills him against the wall. A little bit of wall bang to start. And that's a bad sign going forward for Ding Dong, but it's not over quite yet. They are going to pile out with Simu and Harblue both going down. And it's going to turn out okay for the Ding Dong Daddies. So
absolutely, I was looking at, sorry to interrupt, Showstopper didn't quite get a big kill or anything crazy, but he got enough damage on to the medic, who's Indust, and forced Indust to back out, and of course Indust will take his team with them and his combo with them, and so sort of went a long way to winning that mid. Both teams are about to get Uber now. You can go ahead.
Yeah, so it just, usually when you lose your demo that early, that's kind of like stick a fork in that mid, it's over, but things turned out, it seems, from your observation, that Showstopper saved all the bacon, and now they have mid.
I mean, he's been jumping in. I think we've seen both teams sort of run double soldier jumps in on this mid. You see it sometimes on Metalworks. It's one of those things. Speaking of soldiers, Harblue is down right now. He was on his hammer, his skill stick. Showstopper's coming in. It looks like we've got a push coming possibly here for Ding Dong Daddy. They're thinking about it. 404 pushed pretty far up, but they're going to just turn around. Just looking at, wanted to get a glimpse of that second point, of the Metalworks, if you will.
Yeah, so that So I'll theory craft here for a bit because we're gonna have well, Sneaky's on spy. So
we got Sneaky. Yep.
Feel free to cut me off when he gets behind the medic.
I'll just scream. That's how you'll know.
So like the go-to method to push on this map is to push through alley with both soldiers jumping, but the Madmen and also the Ding Dong Daddies are having scouts up on those metal things on 2, and that pretty much prevents you from being able to do that. And the way teams have responded so far is by pushing through lobby, which has not been very effective. So I think what we're going to see probably by the end of this week is somebody's going to figure out how to get rid of those scouts so they can go back to bombing both soldiers out of alley.
How do you get rid of those scouts? You know, I'm just upset we didn't get to ask you more questions about what it's like playing in a golden cap. Sneaky's in his spot. He's trying to get some intel, or he just opened that shutter, and you gotta be careful with that. He's still just chilling out, wondering now if he's been spotted just by using that shutter alone. He's coming around the back, though. Here comes Sneaky. What a scout walked right past him, and he's gonna whiff, just gonna scrape the face of the medic there, and so the spy play is shut down. Like I said last time, they know that that is a soldier on Ding Dong Daddy, so I'm wondering is that enough to push on? It certainly looks like it is.
Yeah, you pretty much can't afford to pass it up at this point, because otherwise you're just gonna be sitting on second. So they are going to try and work in. They're a little bit off kilter here, but there we go. So they are in now. The Ubers are exchanged on the right side. 404 actually takes a lot of damage before he pops too.
Yep. He stood in there. I was going to say 404 really, he did kind of a milking thing, but he got down to 50, and now he's back down to 50. Actually, he just lost both a soldier and a demo. Certainly. Anyway, yeah, and we're still finding out here. Harb goes down, and pretty soon, I don't know, Injustice is going to take his guys forward because sensing that they have a big advantage because, I mean, we've got 3 down on the other side, but we've seen it all match long. You can't push too far forward in this map. Pharaoh's got his loose cannon, but there's only so much that'll do. Now, there's a slight Uber advantage for Madmen. But,
yeah,
you know, this map is certainly, it's not really won or lost at this choke area, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot more going on. Like there, the big deal there was, and you know, every person who's played Medic for any amount of time will tell you this dilemma. So 404 wanted to hold it there because they were going to have a really great Uber. And he ended up taking a little bit too much damage before he popped, and you never really know how, like, there's no way to know how much damage you're going to take, right? Blank almost dies there, actually. But he skates out. You never know how much damage you're going to take when that happens. Hard blue bombs and gets rejected. But, yeah, so, and he was too hurt and ended up not being able to press up with his soldiers. And they both died as a result. And that kind of just ruined the whole shindig.
Yeah, 404 pops his off. I didn't quite see, it was kind of just a little bit of a fear pop. I didn't see anything in particular that forced him. But, he pops his, and now they've got Sneaky down, and so they're a little hesitant. They don't quite want to come out here, and they're just going to come right back out a second. You can't take a little bit of ground on this map. You have to take a lot of ground. There's no in-between.
Well, I mean, you can press on certain parts of this map, but soldiers are always a threat because of how high the skybox is. So it looks like we're going to end up capping this second from Madmen, but we're at even Ubers, and we've seen plenty of reversals so far. Really aggressive contesting from Ding Dong Daddies, and they're going to get Hardblue, who went in for a flank on the left, I'm pretty sure, or right, as the case may be, whatever the other shutter is.
Whatever continent you're from. Yeah, absolutely. Now, actually, the first Uber goes to Indus, but he's without his soldier, and you don't want to go with 5, certainly not on last. There's no Highlander or crazy, wacky, ding-dong defense on last, and so they're really just thinking of coming right out. Let's listen to Ding Dong Daddy since we have their comms. What are they thinking?
That's what goes over last.
They
might come sniper, they might come spy.
Yeah, let me snipe.
I'm gonna get right.
Left.
Are they in?
No, but they're
eyes everywhere, guys. Eyes everywhere.
They're in
Scout
left
right
lobby
side.
right now.
I do not see Harb. I have yet to see Harb. Soldier's main.
He's down
Soldiers left, other soldiers left.
I have to go just reset.
Alright.
Come on, just let me snipe people real fast. They're probably going to be hyper sniper or something. Maybe
They're gonna
Mike
sack
went back
someone.
for
They're
it.
gonna sack
Yo,
someone.
I'm holding back right now. I'm holding back right now.
We need a whole aggressive though. We need a whole aggressive.
I'm scared of sniper. I'm going bottom right ramp then, so he's the wall try.
Yeah.
Sniper's like 150. He's back left. He's back left. He's buffed though.
That's why I want to hold back.
Let me get a buff.
If you hold right here, it's really hard to kill you from anywhere. Got the bottom of the ramp.
Soldier close.
But sniper peeks far right.
Yeah, I'm here though.
Soldier and scout are in.
Sniper's left right now. He's speaking to me.
I need ammo soon. I'm grabbing it now.
He's still left. He's still left. Someone can get on that shed.
Yep.
Gonna unlink Marxist. Yeah, I'm always impressed by the comms. I love the comms of Ding Dong Daddy, and I was waiting for an opportunity there for Sneaky Polar Bear to kill something, but unfortunately he sniped a buffed sniper. But they're very aware. They're preparing for every possibility, and they sound comfortable on last, don't they?
Yeah, except for the force comes in, so
yeah.
If you're pressed up like that, you have to have everybody pressed up, and you have to kind of keep track of who's coming and going, which you heard that in their comms.
Yep.
I gotta go get reset, but they were still a little too aggressive and they weren't set up yet, and 404 they let it get in, and now you have an Indust full Uber, and you're pretty much at the mercy of the madman at this point.
Yeah, they've got Fat Alec up now on Heavy. And 404 just holding back behind, and no Engineer. We saw a lot of Engineer out of Seymour on the other side. We haven't seen Daddies at last a whole lot. We had that one Sneaky thing. So Sneaky's up above here now and is going to come in. The Uber is in for red, and one soldier comes down. We've got Schnell trying to work on the soldier. He gets blank, and lots on point. Real easy on point. Madmen. Just fantastic focus fire there at the end, and they pull it off in this golden cap round. And he got the win.
Yeah, I found it kind of ironic that the big proponents of get kills then cap point kind of just got on the point, baited him to it in the real classic style, and just and then eventually I think it was Blank just kind of wandered onto the point casually, and they just couldn't get on it in time, and that ended your golden cap, which tends to be how these go. So
yep. That's that'll do it. When you stand right on there, that's how it'll go. Well, unfortunately, I don't know if we were going to have post-game interviews because we only had one of the teams in Mumble tonight, and they did not win, unfortunately. Ding Dong Daddy will fall to 2-3 on the season. Madmen are 3-1 and looking good. Although I can't say that Ding Dong Daddy look bad because they really don't. That was about as close as you can get, Marxist, and they could I think Ding Dong Daddy could just as easily be 3-1, don't you?
Yeah, Pharaoh was making comments to me real quick. Yeah, I mean, that could have gone either way. It seems like they had server trouble, or, some of the Ding Dong guys had computer issues, and, had it not been for some of those, because that always kind of throws you off your game. Like, Seabear and Co. always used to talk about momentum shifts at halftime, but lagging out, like your computer breaking all of a sudden and being like, nah, I'm done playing video games. Have a nice day, bro. That can really throw you out of your groove, because you've got like the momentary shock of, oh no, I paid a bunch of money to play this video game and now my computer won't let me play it.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. In the end, I'm looking at Ding Dong Daddy actually, in terms of a team, they had a damage advantage by about 3,000. Not huge, but, whether it was a bad server or whatever happened, it is a heartbreaker for Ding Dong Daddy, and you can breathe a sigh of relief if you are a Madmen fan. Anything else we wanted to touch on or mention, Marxist?
No, I think we covered it. What did we casted for like 2 hours, Getawhale?
3 hours, yeah. Started this morning. Yeah, well, that was fun. I mean, it's encouraging, guys, and we hope that you'll follow us all season long here on teamfortress.tv, because there is a hell of a lot of ESEA invite coming up as we work toward LAN eventually. Still tons to go. If you do miss a live cast, of course, you can check it on YouTube, Team Fortress TV. If you're watching the recorded cast, make sure you go to Twitch and watch these live ones. But that is all we have for right now. His name is Marxist. My name is Getawhale. We have had Dashner doing all the great stuff, making the stream look hella good. And we're going to leave you guys now. He's going to play some music as well. So that's it for us. We'll see you next time.